The power of the dark side. Yeah. What's up, Kurt? How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How are you on this lovely evening?
Good, good. I'm actually in school right now for engine mechanical diagnostics class for under Toyota. It's a really good class, honestly. Mainly we're learning about we're doing a lot of pico vibration, frequency of vibrations. We're also cam crank signals, IGT signals. No IGF because IGF has been taken out by Toyota a long time ago. But it's a great class, honestly. It, I've it's refurbished the the knowledge that I've had because I barely use Pico on a day to day basis. So it's great to come into class and use it again. Just even though I'm not going to use it until next time I come to class, because at the
I was gonna
dealership,
say,
every
you're gonna learn
dealership
all this stuff and
Pico
never
stuff.
use it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I did that last week. I was in um, the
Multiplex,
networking. It was
multiplex
like
class.
683. I don't even
Mhm.
know. But anyway, we used a ton of Pico, and I was like, oh, it's good to use Pico, and there's no pressure on like getting the job done. You just take your
Yeah,
time, learn it, and it's super easy to use. It's just intimidating to use, and the noise vibration frequency thing is so cool. It's kind of confusing to set up the first few times, but it's really effective.
dude, yes, bro. It's a shortcut, especially. I mean, like, shoot, if you got like a misfire on like a 2GR FKS Highlander, and like it's one of the cylinders in the back, like 1, 3, yeah, 1, 3, and 6. I mean, bro, like instead of charging the customer 3 hours or 2 hours to remove the intake manifold, you can easily do it in the hour by taking out the Pico and hooking it up to IGT on cylinder number one, and then hooking up to the crank signal, and then seeing what's going on. And then, bro, you could literally find out what's going on through there. So, I mean, it's been great. We also have, especially we're two Toyota master technicians, but we also have a wonderful master technician guest that has been on our podcast previously under a tech panel, and I'm happy to see him.
You're like cutting out.
Oh,
Start back from the Toyota thing. Start back from the Toyota thing where it was like two master technicians, and we'll have a third one on. Your audio like went away.
dang it. Well, we are two Toyota master technicians, and we're going to have a wonderful guest. He is also a Toyota technician. So it's great to have him on. We've had him on previously, Nick Robles. I cannot wait to talk to him, especially. I mean, he's one of the he's one of the people in the automotive industry that focuses on more of the positive side than the negative side. He's has a ton of experience, has worked for multiple manufacturers, and honestly, I'm gonna cherry pick his brain for knowledge. So you know.
As long as you're not cherry picking the stack of tickets, we'll be all right.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back with another episode of the WOT podcast, starring the best co-host duo in the nation, me and Kurt, as always. And we have a wonderful, splendid guest who has previously been on one of our tech panels, Nick Robles. Man, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. It's been great. Thank you guys for having me. Yeah.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you hopping on, especially especially I'm assuming you're coming out of work. I know you've been a little busy. You've been having a little stack of jobs on you, so we appreciate you unwinding on here with us on the podcast.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, man.
100%.
Anytime. 100%.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. Well, shoot, we'll go ahead and get started, man. Especially, I feel like on the last tech panel there's too many master techs going on, so we couldn't really dive more into depth about your story and how you fell in love with working on cars or with the idea to work on cars. So, can you give us a little bit of light on that?
Wow, man. It's a little bit of a long story, actually. Um, so I'll probably put it long story short. But basically, my mom got me into like the automotive industry as a whole. It was crazy because it actually started when she introduced me to her uncle, which is my uncle, and he was working at Volkswagen's like at the time. So he was working on those old like van wagons and stuff like that. And I just found it so cool that when I was a kid at the time, I was probably like 9 years old. Um he was struggling to get a car to start. And then I just found it as like, oh wow, he's motivated to actually try to get the car to start. And then once he gets the car to start, it's like a huge celebration, you know. So like, that kind of like marked me in a way, to get me into like, dang, you know, like cars are actually pretty cool, you know. So then he got me into like all the vintage scene, um, and he got me into Volkswagen. And funny enough, as a UTI graduate, um, after I went to UTI, uh,
Everybody went to UTI. Bro, I've been crapping on UTI for
so
so
many people
long,
UTI
yeah,
graduates, yeah.
and then out of nowhere, it's like ever since I crapped on UT, I was like, well, I didn't crap on it, a podcast, I didn't crap on them, but I said we can go with different options because of how expensive it is. I swear, ever since I said that, every single text, da, 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 oh, I'm a UTI graduate. I went to this program. I'm like,
I didn't go at anything fancy, though. Because what's crazy is that when I went to high school, um, I just wanted to cook. To be honest, I studied culinary
culinary.
arts. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So,
really
so
using there
I,
for the girls.
I was like, hey, mom said if a man can cook, you can get any woman. You know, like so.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right. Um, but yeah, that wasn't the dream because I didn't see myself being in the hot kitchen for 72 hours and stuff like that. So then what sparked like me joining the automotive was the combination of my uncle's like format that he like introduced to me, plus the commercial of the UTI. I was like interested on that and I gave in. It was the dumbest decision though, but I gave in. I only did the core program. I accelerated it, and then after that, I graduated, and my first job was actually at Volkswagen. So then I started at Volkswagen for 2 years, and it was a combo dealership with Acura. So then
Crazy.
I after 2 years of Volkswagen, being a flat rate tech actually, um, then I transferred over to Acura, and that only lasted like 6 months because they later then went out of business, and they kind of let go of a lot of techs. So I went in that category in that shortage because I was like a new hired tech. So I lost my job there, but um then I went to a buddy of mine actually opened up an exotic shop, and this is how I got into exotics. So he opened one in Aventura down in Florida, and that's where I learned a lot. So I learned how to like actually work on BMWs, Audis, Lamborghinis, McLarens, Mercedes, all that stuff. And we didn't have like super tech software. We just used the Triton D10 from Snap-on, and we just diagnosed with that, and it did well, you know. Installing exhaust, doing tires, oil changes, and stuff like that. When I got into the German world, I never thought that an oil change would be so hard, so complicated.
It's
Um,
easy.
Curtis love it.
yeah.
Man,
Curtis loves sucking
everyone's
up that oil from the dipstick.
yeah,
Yeah.
man. Y'all doing the people in the shop? They freak out when they do super oil changes. I'm like, this is home for me. I'll do all the super oil changes you need.
Yeah, that's right. Um, yeah, my first oil change was on a Gallardo, in the exotic world, and those five drain plugs really got to me because I did my first mistake. I didn't follow the procedure of the oil sump assembly, and that's how I learned. Like I learned about these exotics. They're like, okay, you need to follow these steps. You need to actually use a torque wrench. You need to mark your bolts, and all that stuff. Pretty much everything that Brett does. So, um, I got into that, and then I just ended up losing the love for the automotive industry afterwards. So long story short, I was just I just I felt like, oh, is that it? You know, like I'm here, I'm with the exotics. It just doesn't make sense to me. Um, but then people were like, you need to go back to the dealership. And I was like, man, I hated the dealership at the time because I was at Volkswagen and it wasn't too great. And then they pushed me to Acura and I lost it. Like I had like no motivation after that.
Bad
So then
experience at dealerships. Well,
yeah.
what things would you like kind of like outline and kind of put bullet points on that made you feel that way?
Well, the fact that I was just thrown around, to be honest. I was thrown around, and then also too, it felt like I was always at it used as an advantage to make something happen, because at the exotic shop I was more so a buddy rather than like an actual worker. So it wasn't really like any type of strict rules in a way. It was more so like you just had to listen to what he said and what he told you and stuff like that and just do it. But then it was just there was no fun to it. I don't know how to explain it.
Anyway,
So
no
so
exotics is crazy.
yeah, it was just it's crazy because exotic is like everybody's type of dream, to be
Yeah.
honest. Um, but then when you get inside of it, you realize like, oh, the pay is just the same as like going to a Toyota dealership. So then you're like, yo, I'm doing twice as much crazy work and I have to be super meticulous for a little pay. So it was just like it wasn't it. And then I felt like, man, I strived so hard to get to like this area because this is like a dream. But then it just wasn't it. So then I just fell off for a year and I started doing like entrepreneurship stuff and doing church and everything else like that. And then my I met my wife and then she found out I had worked on cars before and then she got me back into the automotive industry. So I went back into Toyota. Then I got hired in Toyota. Then I had to work my way up because nobody trusted me. So they were like, "Okay, you're gonna start as a lube tech and then work your way up." so so I was like, "All right, that's fine." And then so I started as a lube tech uh, at all the way in Miami, and then once once I got into the line, it was great, but pay back then wasn't as great. So, you know, I always tell people like right now, I'm like, man, you're complaining about like $20 an hour and stuff like that. Like, dude, I used to take out torque converters for like $15 an hour. So I was like, you guys can't
What
be
year is this
complaining.
though?
This
What
was
year?
back in 2015, 2016.
Bro, I was
Yeah.
when I
So
started at Toyota, I was getting paid 750 to change oil in 2010. And then when I left Toyota, when I was a fully master certified Toyota technician, I left at $24 an hour. Bro,
wow. Wow.
I ain't
Yeah.
gonna
just
call
maybe
very
tell why I
briefly though.
left.
Very briefly though, you saying like $20 today is good in that you're talking about like in 2015 you was getting paid 15. $15 in 2015 is the same equivalent to $20 today. So
Mhm.
it's there's a devaluation in the dollar and there's an inflation in the market. So it's really the same because $15 in 2015 is 2068 today.
Yeah, which
So,
is mind-boggling. But it's crazy when I tell people about like, man, don't complain because I got paid less to do the same job that you're doing right now. You know, that kind of like gave them a little bit of motivation because they thought it was crazy and stuff like that. Obviously, in today's time, we obviously get paid more and stuff, but Yeah.
Or we can lose to inflation.
Yeah.
Shoot.
So
Like Curtis, like Kurt always say, he say, if you ain't asking for $1 every year, you getting beat out by inflation. So like there has to be a yearly bump in your pay.
yeah. That's wild. I don't do yearly acts. I should start doing that. But
I mean, I think all the managers and ownerships are gonna come after me with pitchforks and torches now that I've told everyone and their mother they need to start asking for more raises.
dang.
See, but Kurt,
We're here to get him. We're here to get him.
yeah, they don't have to go raid Technar training and development, bro. Because Kurt, you a independent identity. You for the text, you know what I mean. It's you got a little image going for you, brother.
You know what's
Yeah.
funny is I'm for the text, but I know for a fact that if we just we as an industry leaned into the technicians, it would ultimately make the dealership more money. Like, I don't know why it's like we got a penny, take every penny from them, but just you take care of your people and they're going to take care of you. It's like it's a scratch your back situation. So anyway,
Yeah.
this is your episode.
Yeah. I know. So after the first dealership, I had problems after COVID trying to, like, once I started getting my ASEs, they weren't compensating. So then I went to a different Toyota dealership that was more up north, and
What you mean
that
up north?
happened. It was headquarters Toyota. So that was yeah.
That was above Virginia.
No, headquarters Toyota is in it's all the way in Doral. It's in Hialeah over in Florida.
Oh wait, they're not SET.
That is SET. Yeah.
Wait, you work for SET? That what you saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you work for SET directly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, not directly. No,
Oh,
not directly. This is so the
okay.
dealership is called Headquarters Toyota.
Oh, okay, that's where it
Yeah.
threw me off. I'm like,
It's yeah. It's not Headquarters Toyota, the one that you're
okay,
thinking of.
wonderful.
No. But this that dealership is actually known for like having a lot of fleet vehicles and all that stuff. But the service manager there was a very nice dude that like actually believed in me when I was like growing in the process, and he put me in team leader position within like 5 months. And first time I ever had like 3 raises in 1 year, and it was nuts, man. And it was crazy because I was gonna stay stuck at the other dealership that I was at because I just thought that that was the best dealership there was in Miami, and I was like, I went by faith and just went to the other one. And even though it was a 45-minute drive, um, I still made it out there every single day. And that dealership, if I if I had to explain to you like how the culture of that shop was, it was like a party house every single day. Like literally every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you got Dunkin' Donuts in the morning.
Oh, that's hard.
So
That's hard.
they always do shop meetings 8:30 sharp in the morning. And if you're late to it, you get ring up. But this keeps people accountable and keeps people to be like an actual like team. It's all a team effort. So on top of that, every Saturday was like Spanish food. You got like Venezuelan food, or you got Nicaraguan food, or all that stuff. So I build around the Spanish culture a lot. And that was like the first dealership where we were just like lit on coladas like crazy. Just like passing out coffee and everything. And it was always a family vibe. Whenever somebody was like stuck and unhappy, there was always another tech that would come in and just lift you up, you know. I was always surrounded in that type of culture. What had me move was the inflation, to be honest. That I had to like I had to pack my bags because I didn't reach master at the time to get the pay that I really wanted. So then I had to move to Virginia where the inflation is actually lower. And yeah, took the faith journey on that. And then the service manager there is actually from Miami. So then we instantly clicked. And at first I was skeptical because they were in a really old like building that was like a flea market type of mall type of thing. And I was like, I'm better where I'm at, even though I'm struggling. I don't think I'm gonna come over to this dealership. But then he told me that they were making a new building and it would be cool that you can come with us and mark your spot on your lift and stuff like that. So then I I came on board, and I would say that he got me like treated nicely. Ever since I've walked through those doors, everything that like I accomplished, he always accommodated for that. So this dealership is very not cultural in a way, but I love the fact that like I have 2 bays and I'm working very efficient. Um on top of that, this is one of the shop foremans that are there. I've learned so much from that dude. And yeah, that's kind of like my story of like how I started the automotive industry and how I moved to Toyota. In the sense, it's kind of weird story, but yeah, we're here, you know.
No, that's a rich story. I'm not gonna lie. When you were talking about like learning from your uncle and like getting the love for the industry from your uncle, when you said that the car didn't start, I thought you was gonna tell me some prodigy story of how you made the car start at like 9 years old. That's why I made that face. He made the
Nah,
car start.
I
But
would just
then
always hang out with him in his garage and just look at see what he's doing. I didn't know anything about wrenching when I was 9 years old, but I knew that every time he made a car start, he would always celebrate with some beer and just like just be lit with it. And it was crazy. Like my mom's family was always like car oriented, so everybody in the family, whenever they had a car that was just like broken down, all of us come together and try to figure it out. So it was pretty cool. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's where you're this Toyota dealership you're at now. Are you a group leader or just a technician there?
I'm a team leader.
Okay.
So I'm one of the team leads inside the shop. Out of what's 5 master techs? Yeah, 5. So we got 3 MDTs. I'm the only master tech. And then we got 1 expert. So yeah,
hold up, bro. Why are you the only Mass Tech, brother?
I'm lazy to get my L1.
Oh, you get the L1.
Yeah, I know.
Like it's a test that's actually fun. I'm not gonna lie. It's not a waste of your time. It's actually like if you like, I mean, like all the other ASCs, I'd say honestly they're pretty like boring tests. But the L1 like gets your mind going, especially because you have to like go back to the composite vehicle and you have to like source the wiring diagram, and then it's gonna be like, oh, is there an error at pin 61, pin 60, and then you have to go back. It's pretty fun, bro. I'm not gonna lie. It gets your mind going,
Dang.
especially if you
That's
got ADHD.
Yeah, I was actually gonna sign up last year. But then they closed down our testing location that was here local in the city. So then the next testing location, it happened to be like an hour and a half away. So I was like, man, I don't want to travel an hour and a half, but I'll do it, right? But then so much stuff happened last year, and it was a crazy, crazy year. So like, mom passed away, miscarriage, and all that stuff. So
Oh, condolences,
I
bro.
went I
Real
went
life
through a
stuff.
lot. Yeah. So
Mm.
then I had to recover from all that stuff. And then it was a big slowdown for me to try to bounce back into like getting back my rhythm and everything and try to like fix these cars efficiently without like having cloud space and stuff. So I tapped into it quick though, because I was like, man, I'm the only provider in my home, so gotta make
You
things
got a
happen.
choice.
Yep. And you're a new dad too, so so you get to
Join the club.
join the club, bro.
Yeah. Not to take over the podcast real quick, but I'm having we having a girl. We naming her Jaliana. So it's like the beginning of it, like Jasmine's name J A and my name JALI because my name is Jaleel. So JALI and then Anna, ANNA. So we just a little mix, but yeah.
Hey.
I'm happy. I ain't gonna lie, it's the driving factor, bro. Whew, I've been like ever since we found out. But at work, I be hunting.
Yeah.
It'll unlock a different level of efficiency somehow. You turn into a dad, and you're all of a sudden you're like, now I got to flag more.
Yeah, let me
Thinking
tell
about it.
you, before I was a dad, I was averaging, I would say 90 to 110, 120 sometimes. What? Two? What do you? Huh?
Every 2 weeks?
Every 2 weeks, yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you was like you every 1 week you was averaging that.
No, not a week. No,
we can get better than that. I was like, whoa.
No. And then once I became a dad, on the good Toyota days when the fuel pump recall came out with the GOPs and the harnesses for the Corollas and all that stuff, I was averaging like 202, 186, 190. I was up there. So I was like, man, I gotta provide for my kid. I gotta go. And then push everybody to the side. And I was like, man, this is for me. Ain't nobody gonna pay my bills, So I gotta pick up the work and just keep on going, And then some people would say like how fast you're going, but you're just going.
I've been thinking. You brought up a good point. I've been thinking about it. So I guess it's more of a general question that we can maybe just go around talking about. Is you just said you got to pay your bills, right? And everyone does. And I always get held up, I think, a little bit on the flat rate system, and it's like, getting dispatch work, and so I'm always like, well, Jalid ain't paying my bills. I got to get this ticket. Like he ain't. He's living his life, and I'm living my life. But like that type of attitude, I can see how that pits technicians against each other. And I've always been confused is how service managers and service directors will be like, yeah, bro, we got to be a team. And then they'll like encourage stuff like that in the same breath. And it's just like, there's got to be a better way that we can be savages, but also help each other out.
Yeah. Dang. Yeah.
Because I've always done that, like where I'm just like next ticket. I got things hours I want to make, bills I got to pay, money I want to make, and then in that same thought process, kind of stepping back, is the other technicians in the shop, they got bills to pay, but it's like, am I the bad guy for just wanting to do more and almost being like greedy, if you will?
You a team lead too, brother.
So, yeah.
No, I am not a team lead. That's the exact reason, because I will out hustle anyone unless the team leader's dispatching poorly. Then obviously I don't have any control of that. But I don't know. If you guys have any thoughts on it, I'd love to hear it.
That's a tricky one, man. Because honestly, sometimes, when money is low or something like that, you get frustrated, and you always tell the dude, like, dude, I can't help you right now. Like, go to the person that's next up, like go to your shop foreman and stuff like that. But then you don't want to like always be neglectful all the time, because then it creates friction. And then with that one person that you create friction with, the whole shop feels it. Yeah. So then it's like, man, I gotta be careful with what I do or what I say, because one, if you're a team leader or if you're a master tech, you obviously have all eyes on you. But then at the same time, you have to be accountable for yourself and be efficient with what you do, but also be efficient with helping others at the same time. So it's kind of like a battle between both, but then you don't want to be stingy with like man, like I'm not gonna help this dude out. I'm gonna knock out every ticket that he doesn't know, stuff like that. Because in a sense, it's pleasurable, but then at the end of the day, you get to come in next morning and then that guy feels a certain type of way about you, and then you feel, I don't know, I feel guilty because I don't ever want to come to work and then have like somebody next to me that's angry with me because I didn't help them out. I always want to be even and fair, and always want to like have that good chemistry where we can go, but obviously set boundaries. Boundaries are important, so that when people know that you're focused, they know to leave you alone. you know that's what I set for everybody that knows that when I'm pissed and I'm rolling, don't come near me. you know so I would say it's more so like that, but then yes, that bill part, like always thinking about your bills, it's stressful. um you're always like, man, do I maintain my composure as a team leader, or do I just botch this week and just like be mean this week so that I'm able to like pay off my bills and be stress free at home, you know and stuff like that, but then deal with the consequence later, and try to regain that chemistry that you had with somebody again, which is always like a weird thing to do. um or do I just continue being me and just it is what it is? Yeah.
I mean, it kind of depends who you are, it's from a team lead's perspective. It kind of depends like who you were as a tech before you were a team lead. Like let's say out of nowhere a technician is like pulling a good amount of crazy hours after they got promoted as team lead. Obviously, we're looking at that and we're saying, all right, bro, like you weren't doing this back then. Now you're a team lead and now you have access to dispatch. That's why it's happening. But like for my instance, when I was just a regular like expert tech and I wasn't a team lead, I wasn't promoted team lead yet, I was already flagging. I was 90, 100, 80, 70. Those were my weeks. Because I mean, I try to work quickly and I would stay after work a lot. Like Curtis has done seen me at the dealership at like 2 a.m. like just trying to overcompensate for a job that I had that was going to take me more than the warranty time, but I didn't want it to look like that on paper. So I just stayed longer so I could work on different jobs in the morning.
Oh,
I mean, bro,
wow.
I try to put in work, bro, but I don't do that no more. I don't do that anymore. That was the OJ.
Better not be doing that no more.
Yeah.
That's
I don't do that
crazy.
That's 2 a.m. That's
Yeah.
wow.
I've done that a good amount of times. But for instance, anytime, like even if I'm like in hungry mode, which I have been, like anytime like one of my mentees or any people on my team need help, I immediately go and help them. Like they come over, usually it's something quick. And even if it is something long, I think everybody in the shop is fast enough to help someone and not lose track of what they're doing on their job and still make time on their job, because we all understand each other's position. Like if I've got someone helping me like with something that I needed some help on, I'm not going to let them spend 30 minutes helping me and then like just not pay attention to their own job while I know they also have a waiter. We're all mindful of each other's time. Like we'd be like, hey, bro, you good? You good? Like, go ahead, knock out your car, because the advisor's starting to get a little frustrated. That we all try to stay mindful of each other's time, and we all honestly openly help each other. Like anytime we're not doing anything, we're in someone else's bay, either poking fun at them for doing something some way or helping them proactively. I think the only issue we sometimes do is overhelp, because recently I've kind of noticed with some people on my team, like I've kind of overhelped them for too long just because I kind of want to learn a lot of stuff on my own as well. So like I'll see something and then I'll take control of it, and then because I want to learn or something I've already done and knock it out real quickly, but then they don't learn as they should have. They don't understand it, and even if I explain it, they don't still don't understand because they have to do it hands on. So honestly, it's just you gotta find a good balance between being hungry and helping out. And I would don't turn anybody down unless you unlock in mode. Like the other week, I was doing a 2GR FKS Tacoma timing cover, and I was trying to it was warranty, and it had been given to me because someone else that it wasn't. It's like they couldn't do it. Like there was no way that tech was gonna get that job. Like, I was like, brother, why would you even recommend that, thinking that the dealership was gonna let you do that job? And he was like, wait, oh yeah, you're right. I'm like, yes, yes, they not gonna give you that job. Why you recommend it? And then I like everybody already knew I was locked in. So I mean, no one bothered me. They went to another technician to receive help for if they needed anything.
Wow.
And if everybody's on a good if everybody in the dealership, actually not dealership, a shop, is on page with each other, good relationships in the atmosphere, no one's really beefing, or no one's like beefing like through work or personally, everybody kind of understands each other. You just gotta take some to get some, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to say that. I had to go on a rant.
Yeah, no, no, it's you guys are both team leaders, group leaders, same differences. It's just good to hear different perspectives. In my personal experience, even being friendly and just flagging hours, they might not say anything directly to you, but there's a lot of talking behind your back and stuff, and that grows. That animosity can grow exponentially over a period of time. Having experienced that personally, and it's just kind of a bummer because I feel like the flat rate system, while it has its benefits, it's really good at kind of putting people against each other in some situations. Um,
Especially if you work harder than them and they won't take accountability for that.
you mentioned coming in early, Nick, coming in early and staying late. I wanted to be like, so coming in early is normal, or coming in on time, because man, I did that one post and everyone was like, oh, everyone in your shop must hate you, blah blah blah, and I was literally just at work 5 minutes early. It's like, time.
Yeah, I mean, like coming in early definitely sets your tone. I used to do that a lot. Starting off in the automotive industry. I still struggle to do it now that I have kids. But I'm not saying that the kids are the excuse though. but but it's just like sometimes some days are tough. And then you go to sleep late and waking up tired and all that stuff. But you always gotta get it. But always waking up early and always being there early is always a tip for like anybody, to be honest, because if the dispatcher sees that you're determined by showing up early, usually if it's a good dispatcher, they'll always dispatch you the ticket first, or give you that first good ticket that you deserve for showing up early. um that's how it's always been for like as long as I've been in the automotive industry. So
Okay,
yeah.
then let me branch that question outside of showing up early. What's one piece of advice that you could give a new technician that's entering the field, or even like a lube tech that's trying to move up to mainline?
um like not time wise, or
Yeah, I mean, showing up early is I think important for everybody. But if there's something else besides showing up early, and somebody came to you and was like, "Hey, Nick, I really want to be a technician, or I've been a technician for I've been a lube tech for 6 months, and I really want to get moved up to the full mainline. Like, what can I do?"
I always tell them like, when you have the basics down and have them locked in to where like, you know, this is down pack, I can knock an oil change out in like 10 minutes type of thing. I feel like then they have a good like theory of like how to tighten the bolt, how to not leave a wheel loose and stuff like that. And that's where I can start to like introduce them into like doing tires and doing brakes and stuff like that. But everybody wants to move into the technician format. But I always tell these people like, hey, are you willing to invest? Like, because once you get here, you're investing in yourself, and we invest on tools so that we're able to do these jobs. You know, like this is where you're gonna have to look at, and this is how we get paid. We get paid flat rate. Now, flat rate is good, or it could be good when it's good. It could be bad when it's bad. You know, flat rate has a con to it, but sometimes it's really really good because you're able to control how much you make. You know, um, and you know I always tell them like if you're willing to do that, then I have no problem to like pull you to the side from being a lube tech, and then have you do tires with me, learn how to balance and stuff like that. But if I feel like you're not ready and you're not as efficient to step into that line yet, um then you're still gonna have to be in lube tech for a little bit, until you learn a little bit more on that side, and then I slowly walk you through. That's what I normally do. So it's tough to try to like bring that new person into like hot motivation, especially now with like everybody on social media talking about how bad flat rate is, you know, and also too with how expensive tools are to make money.
Um,
So yeah.
I feel like for like a new tech, especially with how many people saying how bad flat rate is, them seeing you doing good in flat rate is a big motivator. Especially if you're semi-transparent enough about your pay, they're gonna be like, "Oh wait, what you making this? Is wait, what happened?" I'm asking all these other people online, and they talking about they broken stuff. Like just seeing it in person, because that's how it was for me when I was coming up. Like this MDT was transparent. He was like, "Oh yeah, I made 130K last year," and I was like, "Dang, a mechanic made over 100. Mechanic made six figures. I mean, yeah, mechanic made that." And I'm just like, "Dang, I didn't even know that was possible." So like that kind of gives new people motivation, especially with a lot of negativity as we see online every single day.
Yeah, I'm fed up with the negativity, to be honest with you, because this used to be an industry where we used to have fun on the fact of fixing cars. Like cars are like literally like no one ever thought that that was gonna actually be a career back in the day. You know, everybody thought that it was just like, oh, it's something like a hobby that you just do, and then once they found out that you can get paid like for doing that, you know, it ended up blowing up, and then it came into this whole thing with like, okay, we're gonna make it flat rate, we're gonna start like, paying our technicians this way, and back in the day, like nobody ever complained about flat rate, like at least in my eyes when I first started, everyone always told me like, oh, you can make a lot of money, like uh, in today's time, warranty is good, CP is good. If you have a good advisor, you can easily get 20 hours a day, and that's where like I was motivated. I was motivated to be in it. I was like, man, these people are like doing 200 hours every 2 weeks. What? I was like, wait, so you can double your pay rate by just making that many hours? Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's where I was like super motivated. I was like, man, there's no other job like that. Every other job that you go to, whether it's corporate or federal, you're paid hourly, and then if you make overtime, they either complain about it or they really need you and they'll pay you overtime, but it's a base pay. You don't have like control to reach that height, you know So when you tell somebody that you made 200 hours, they look at you crazy because they don't understand the flat rate system. But
Yeah, you worked there 200 hours?
yeah,
Nah, bro.
no, I
I
just
was
booked
only
it.
there like 70.
Yeah. So but like it's just it's so hard to motivate the young people nowadays. And I always tell them like man, if this is something that you really want to do, I'll back you up. I'll literally show you my ways. But I'm gonna be transparent. I'm gonna tell you like I don't think you're ready. And I think you're gonna have to like step down a little bit. And then once we get you up to par on this, you know, particular area, then we can move on to the next thing. And then once I have a ticket or a car that I think that you can learn on, then I'll teach you that. And then I always tell them like, man, just read ahead, do your E modules, don't be lazy, be the person that's outside you know the picture of everybody that doesn't want to do them. Like if you really want this, you gotta do your E modules. You gotta do them. Everybody done them. Everybody that's a master went through those same steps. And then I was like, there's no master that did not start from Lube and then did not do their E modules to get to where they're at. It's impossible. you know, like that's the criteria that the dealership set for every single person.
I ain't gonna lie. Thank God I skipped out on lube, bro.
He skipped on Lube?
Yeah.
No way.
I didn't do lube. Yeah, I kind of exaggerated about my skills on the resume when I was
That's the
getting
first for me. That's
hired.
the first for me. I never met anybody that skipped out on Lube, to be
Yeah,
honest.
thankfully, and you know what? Funny, I ain't even gonna lie. Little tiny story time, bro. Bro, I skipped out on lube, and so I jumped straight as a repair tech. I was hourly, like, thank God I was hourly. But bro, I didn't even know how to put a car on a lift. I didn't know how to mount and balance a tire. Nothing, like nothing. Like I just learned on the job. Like thankfully, I had a cool master tech beside me, and like people around me, like, and I just learned on the job, bro. Just learned it's funny. It's super funny, bro. But like,
I feel like Curtis, did you ever bluffed to get where you're
What?
at? Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like
like
you
basically what I
ever
just said.
Yeah, exactly what he did. So like you ever bluff a certain experience, but then just like I don't know, like just had the strength to just go through that experience, not knowing what it is, but you told everybody that you knew how to do it, type of thing.
Maybe on certain jobs, like someone asked me, like, yeah, I mean, maybe not like applying to a job, but on like certain repairs. I've done that. I
Yeah, that's
maybe have done
normal.
the opposite. I usually get more credit than maybe I've made clear. Like I'll reverse bluff. Like someone will like say, "Oh, Curtis can do this, this, and this," and I'll be like, "Nah, like it's cool." Like I'll like play it casual, but not really what Jay's talking about now.
Because I feel like in today's world, if you really ask for that ticket for so many times, like, oh, I want to do that particular job and whatever. I feel like some people nowadays they bluff so that they can get that job and then learn it because maybe the dispatcher is not nice to them and stuff like that.
Mm.
I've seen some. I'm not obviously gonna give any names, but I've seen certain people that like say that they can do this job and they're like, "Oh, why don't you give it to me?" And they'll ask about it for like months because it's like a cycle of like, let's say like the Camrys that have torque converter issues, you know. So let's say that there's a bunch of those and he's seeing a bunch of those, but he's never getting one because the dispatcher doesn't think that he has the capability to do it. Even though he does all his e modules, he's very efficient and everything, and he wants to learn. I feel like I've seen where that person bluffed and be like, "Oh, I just did one like the other day," and then just let me get the ticket, and then he gets the ticket, and then he's all up on the repair manual. And let me tell you, sometimes the people that bluff and are efficient, they end up like learning a new skill, but end up being good at it. It's pretty wild to me because I'm like, dude, you just like totally lied, but you gain an experience at the same time, and I'm like, I don't know what to think about that, you know?
I I know I think when you say bluff, it makes it kind of puts that in a different tone of what I was imagining. But I
Okay,
think what you're talking about is anytime someone learns a new skill, you've got to take that risk and you've got to go out and try it. And there's just different ways to do that. And what you're sounds like what you're describing is those people are saying like I'm ready to learn this job and I'm not being given this job, so I'm going to act like, hey, I can do this because ultimately it probably can. They just need to trust themselves, and then the person needs to trust in them that they can do it.
yeah, yep, exactly, yeah. Better terms, better words.
I
Yeah,
just when you said bluff, I felt like that was more of like a. I was thinking like poker, like you're bluffing. I was like,
Yeah,
I
you're
don't
bluffing.
know,
You're like
like
you're actually the opposite of what you're trying to be,
yeah.
or
yeah,
you're
Look,
yeah.
bluffing.
the way I talk in my grammar, all Miami, bro.
You good,
It's
bro? You
bad.
good, bro?
It's bad, bro.
You good, bro? You good.
I ain't worried about it. I was when you explained it, I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Um, I have a question to ask you guys actually. So, what
Hmm.
what would you say is good shop culture? And if you think that's good, um, why would you feel there's like an empty space between other dealers not doing the same?
I would say good shop culture. Am I involved in the? No shop culture. I'm involved in the service manager, advisors, and the technicians. Everybody, right?
Everybody as a whole.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A good shop
Service
culture.
department.
I feel like that's transparency between the service manager and the technicians and advisors. If a service manager changes something in the pay plan or the system, they tell the technician why, how it is going to benefit you, and also how it could negatively affect you, and also why we're doing it. Because like for like many times, service manager will tell a technician something or make a change, and they'll just be like, "Hey, that's just the way it's going to have to be." That isn't gonna help nobody. The technician's gonna
Uh,
say okay in your face and then go walk 2 steps backwards and start talking smack. And then it spreads throughout the shop, and then everybody out of nowhere hates their service manager or hates the service advisors. I think transparency is really important. Camaraderie and cohesion are other important things, especially with a large group of people. Man, if like there isn't a cohesion in that, it's not going to work at all. Like you're going to have a toxic environment, which is many dealers. Many dealers have technicians where they just stay in their bay, and then that's like maybe they talk to their partner like like a couple times a day, but there's no like kind of a work friendship there. They're just co-workers. I mean, a good shop environment, especially we're out in the shop. We're not regulated like a corporate identity to like not talk to each other. We're not in desks that are like bind up and you don't see the person next to you. Bro, you could walk 2 feet and you can talk to your partner, like your coworker right beside you, and we're all working on cars. So it's for most people, this is our hobby, and this is also how we make money. So we enjoy what we're doing to the point we can do this at home and drink beers over it, but at work, obviously, we're not going to do that. But come with the same good, joyful energy and spread those vibes around the shop. And then with service advisors, honestly, I think it takes that relationship is also big on transparency. If you're good, if the service advisor is gonna, I don't know, it, If he's gonna make some change to the RO, let the technician know. If there's a customer hurrying you up as a service advisor, let the technician know how long the customer's been there, why they're agitated, or why their focus is towards this customer states. It really is simple. Transparency, cohesion, accountability, especially accountability. You can't, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. You can't lead a horse. I mean, you can't make the horse drink, bro, but you can lead it to the water. But like the horse might not drink, bro. With techs, especially with some techs are a little bit lazy, and it just is what it is. Like, I mean, there's this coworker. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna tell you a quick story. There's this coworker. I ain't gonna lie. There was a ticket in there, right? It was a 2025 4Runner. You know the TSPs for the brakes?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. It's 0.9, and it says customer states brake squeal. We all know what that is. Then it had the bumper recall for the 4Runner as well. And then it had a 0.5 oil change rotate. Brother, I let that ticket in there for 5 minutes. I put a timer on my phone, 5-minute timer. Me and him didn't have a job. None of us had a job, but I was wanting to get that job. I said, I'm gonna put 5-minute timer on there. If he don't grab that job in 5 minutes, I'm gonna grab it. Guess what? He sat there, looked at it, looked at the tag, read it, said, nah, I'm good. And then I grabbed it. Some people they just don't want it as bad as you do. And there's nothing wrong with you taking that ticket. It just is what it is. Like that, you can't help that. They're not gonna work harder. You just you got to be nice to them when they need help. You still got to help them, even if they put you, even if they anger you sometimes with their work ethic, or they put you in like kind of harm's way by letting you grab the BS tickets most of the time. It just you just can't help it sometimes. But I think a great shop environment, accountability, transparency, and cohesion and camaraderie.
That's good.
Now, let me repeat the question so I'm making sure that I'm understanding it properly. You were asking what makes a good shop culture and why don't more dealer shops adopt it?
Yeah, in that sense, yes. Because you always see that one dealership does more than the other for their guys, or they won't do anything at all.
I think it comes down to money and the way that it makes the person in charge look. Now, let me go into a little bit more detail about that, because I've seen and heard many stories about good culture, bad culture, and everything in between. And I think it has to do with a lot with accountability and transparency, but I think it has more to do with investing in the team. And that's even something as simple as recognition, public recognition or personal recognition. That is free. You don't have to spend anything for that. I think when there's achievements in the shop or achievements on the drive, it's noticed publicly, and the manager or leader, the leader in the department stands up and speaks and say, okay, Nick, you did a great job last week. You flagged 80 hours. That's your best week ever. And standing behind you in situations where maybe it's easier to agree with the majority than it might be to stand with the person who's actually right and doing things maybe a little bit differently. You mentioned accountability. I think that's kind of lines up with that is if you're not going to handle the person who's causing issues and being toxic, that's going to kind of spread and infect other people's way that they see you, because they're going to think, wow, Nick just let Curtis do this on this car and didn't say anything to him. So then next time Jaleed's going to be like, well, if he let Curtis get away with it, then what if I do it? And then that is kind of how that bad mindset spreads. But I think investing into people is probably one of the things that you could do the most is when it comes to, I know it sounds simple, but birthdays, shop sends birthday cards. That's fairly free. When there's achievements in the shop, like I said, it's recognized. There's appreciation programs throughout the year. Every really good shop culture I've had would have like a party, not a pizza party, not that funny stuff we see on the internet, but like an actual like technician appreciation or service advisor appreciation, where it's like a fun night. There's a game or two, and they give away some cool prizes or gifts. And it says, hey, it's been a tough year, but we really appreciate what you guys have done for us. Here's a free TV or a game system or gift cards or whatever it is. I mean, it's up to that. It's simple. And then
That boy missing Audi.
no, I mean, they did a great job. It's exactly what they did, a fantastic job. And if they ever listen to this, I'll die on that hill. They did a fantastic job over there. They set up systems around like flagging hours, or even for the advisors, where there was things where it's like, okay, there's achievements where you flag a certain amount of hours, you get a bonus. You get a fixed right first time score, you get a bonus, whether that was individual or a team. And that is all investment into the team. It's investment into the what they're trying to build, and that's build customers. I hate to have to say this, but it's to build customers for life. It's if you invest into your team will invest into your customers. And that's like, more people don't do it because it's expensive. But as I was saying a little bit earlier in the podcast, it pays off in the long run. It's just upfront. It's very intimidating to a lot of dealerships.
Yes. Yeah, I was asking that question because last dealership that I had compared to this one is a huge culture shock for me. Here it's more strict and everybody works for themselves and they focus on themselves, where I'm used to like Spanish music as soon as you come in, it's booming throughout the
Yes,
shop.
sir. Yes, sir.
And then just like, you have that one friend that's just dancing merengue and stuff like that. And then it puts a smile on your face. And then next thing you notice, you have like every dealership that I worked for had a bakery. It had a Spanish bakery. So we would always hit the Spanish bakery first thing in the morning, get our coffee, and get like, bread with like toast with butter
Yeah,
and
this
stuff.
is Florida stuff.
Yeah. So, and then just more so like, that shop always did appreciation for like, any achievement that you did. They either give you like a gift card to Snap-on, they give you a gift card to Publix, they give you a plat, and they give you a certificate that's, that the company made. And it just makes you feel like you're at home, like it's your second home, because they're appreciating you so much for like all the hard work that you're doing. um and where I feel like a dealership that doesn't do that, you know it can hurt a technician's motivation and flow. Also in the sense of where, you know like everything that Jalid like actually said is like core values of shop culture and everything, but then the extra mile is like all the incentives and stuff like that come with it. But the whole achievement process of like, hey, I just hit this milestone, the company recognized it, they're giving me something. It's like, oh, I never thought or expected that this would actually come to me. Like when I was a team leader, um one of the goals that my service manager at the time told me was like, if you could get everybody to 100 hours on your team, I'll give you something. I didn't know what it was. And I was like, dude, 100 hours? Bro, there's 5 people on my team. Like, how am I going to do that? you know? And then he was like, figure it out. I never seen them hit 100 hours. So if you can get them all to 100 hours, I'll give you something. So the funny thing is, um, it developed me one as a leader, but also it developed me in a way of like, man, how am I gonna help this technician to achieve these hours and show them how to achieve it? And it was all based on how to work efficient. I hit that milestone, so they booked like all of us, all of them together. They did like 520 hours. And yeah, like 2 guys did better than the rest and stuff like that. But then I was able to get a reward where the service manager gave me a check. So he gave me a $1,500 gift card, and it was well, it was a check. My bad. And then he gave me a gift card to Snap-on, and I paid off all my Snap-on debt with that at the time. And I was just like, man, I never had a company that ever did this for me, you know? And it just makes me want to like continue working in the automotive industry and just continue like doing what I do, you know? Because it's like if you give me love and that expectation, that I'm gonna give love back. It's the same response, you know? And that's where I felt like the culture was really nice, you know? But in all seriousness, like when it comes to business, of course, everything that Jay said, 100%. It's like 100% that has to be a must, because if there's no transparency or any type of communication or anything like that, you're gonna have a corrupted shop, you know. So, but yeah, that's what kind of like built me up to that question, because it's just I see where some dealership, they actually truly value their techs compared to like some other dealerships, and I kind of hate that, because uh that kind of ruins potentially like a really good tech that's probably working in a dealership that's not getting that at all, and they think that they're in the worst place that they ever worked for, and then they blame it on the industry when it's really the company.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that.
It really be the company you work for.
Yeah,
Say
it's
what?
It really be the company you be working for sometimes. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
it ain't all
Yeah,
bad. The grass is greener somewhere else sometimes.
Yeah, those same texts that we're talking about social media get super negative. They'll work for one or two dealers and they'll be like, the industry's trash. And it's like, yeah, you got a sample size of a penny. Like you don't even know what there is out there. You just had two opportunities and you're like, this is it. This is my life. You're mentioning like the team incentives. I was always big on team incentives. If I was trying to flag a bunch of hours or get a job done in a certain amount of time, I'd always challenge the managers like, hey, if I get this job done in 2 hours, will you take the team out to lunch? Like something like that, or buy the team lunch. And then like I would always go in there and like try to do it for the team. And like, hey, like let's try this, let's do this. And it got to the point they're like, oh, that's too much. You're always beating these things that you I was like, I'm
Yeah.
just trying to help the team out here. It's like it's easy to see one person flagging a ton of hours on a team and then start to be like, wow, Curtis always flags the hours. And it's like, I think sometimes it requires a little bit of team effort too. And not everybody sees that, because I know that all three of us couldn't do what we do on a daily basis if it wasn't for the team, whether that's technicians next to us, definitely the advisors and the parts, the porters, the valets, car wash. If you have it, it's a whole team. And I just wish that more people would recognize that it takes a team for us to do what we do regularly.
Yeah. And one last thing that I would say too, Toyota, by far, out of all the brands that I worked on, um, Toyota has to be by far the best manufacturer I ever worked for, to be honest. And the only reason why I say that is because they always do things for the master techs that actually stretch that extra mile. So like if you're doing that DPRs and you're trying to be a quality champion, which I'm trying to strive for that this year, um, you get to go on a cruise. You get to go
I thought
meet
they took that
other
away.
technicians. Huh?
I thought they took that away, bro.
What, quality champion?
Yeah.
Say what?
Yeah, I thought they took quality champions away.
Nah, probably SET did. I don't know.
You're not under SET.
Hmm.
Oh yeah. We don't do college. they
SET, I think they do track points. So
Yes.
yeah. So they're doing the point system where if you get the most points, then you can get a vacation and all that stuff.
Yeah, we don't do quality champions no more. We do the yeah, it's you basically just what key products, like key products, batteries, wipers, all the gravy, like that kind of stuff. Like whoever gets the most, those are the techs who like the top 75. It's pro tech. Top
Pro
75,
tech.
175, those are the people who go on the trip. It favors the gravy masters. I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't favor the quality champions no more.
Yeah, I hit it once when I was in SCT. I'll take a picture of it tomorrow morning when I pop into work. But quality champion though is something that I'm striving for this year. Um, you do the most DPRs in your region, and they're good quality DPRs. You get the most points and stuff like that, and then you can go on a lot of vacations. Uh, I I haven't like in Volkswagen. Volkswagen never did that. When I was working in Volkswagen at the time, Acura never did that when I was working at Acura at the time. So I only found that Toyota was doing it. And then I that kind of like motivated me a lot to like actually like dang, I gotta find some new product stuff that's just bad defect and just be that technician that actually betters the manufacturer, you know. um that's where my heart is at. So like I literally focus a lot on like just trying to better the manufacturer. um and I know for a lot of young techs that are like when they look up to me and they ask me like, oh, what are DPRs? Because the now a lot of people are asking me right now, and I'm getting a lot of hate too because I got the DPR Pro mug, and only two technicians in my region actually have that travel mug. It's funny. It says DPR Pro, and then it has the Toyota logo on the other side. But just like I show them like, hey, we do dealer product reports, and if you want to, have a vacation in the Bahamas and go off-roading on these new Tacomas and stuff like that with a whole bunch of Toyota reps all up on the island, this is what you got to do, you know. And if you want to have fun with the manufacturer itself and be first in line to see all the new cars that are coming out, this is what you got to do, you know. And I think it's fun, man. I actually find the joy in the manufacturer side of things. So yeah, love Toyota.
It's nice to hear manufacturers doing that and not just dealerships, but it's like a team investment where everyone's paying tribute to the technicians that keep the show on the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wish. Are they doing quality champion in your dealership or no?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I
Kurt,
have.
Oh, you should find out.
Kurt
You
just
should
got
find out.
in. Kurt just got
Kurt
in.
should find
He got
out.
back
I'm
in.
just trying to survive the day-to-day struggles of the dealership that I'm at. I ain't worried about that right now.
Because what I was gonna say is like if you guys hit top two and whatever, we all get to see each other at Toyota North America.
Yeah,
So
okay. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm not hitting top 75 or 175 for the SET stuff, bro. Cause like, no, I'm telling you, like, we're a smaller dealer. So like the dealers who go, those are like 50, 60, 70 bay dealers. Like all the Florida
yes,
dealers,
yeah,
they're the top 10, like techs from over there. And their key product pools, I'm like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, you bringing in like 2,000 a month off of like key product money. So I'm like, I'd be happy if I hit like 400, 500. He over here hitting 2K. I'm like, yeah, I'm never gonna hit that. I would have to go to
yeah.
a store.
SET is hard. They have a lot of great techs in SET. A lot of good techs, man.
If you put me in a bigger store, though, I'm comp, bro. I'm comp. I can do it. But like, it's a smaller volume, bro. I ain't got the cars that they got.
Yeah, I get it though because I used to be same region. So CAT is smaller. It's a
Bro.
lot smaller dealerships.
Oh
So
yeah,
you have chance.
yeah. I think freaking yeah. SCT is the biggest region. We got like I don't know like 5,000 and something techs, and then the next closest I think it's the one to the left, and they got like 4,000.
Yeah, yeah. See,
Middle.
and SCT is the only region that's private.
Yep.
Yep, and they own
Green
their own
family.
region. Yeah, and they could do whatever they want.
Crazy.
And Toyota doesn't have to tell them anything. So that's what's wild, and they're able to market their own cars the way they want
Mhm.
to, and all that stuff. And
Pretty cool.
that's nice, bro.
J and M family. They got their own warranty, fidelity. They got their own, bro. They be doing crazy stuff. I need to get more into it.
Yeah. Sorry to get off topic.
Oh no, that's on topic, brother.
Oh, that's
Anything
on topic.
automotive. Anything automotive on topic.
Oh, everything. Okay. I just
Yeah.
didn't know.
Nah,
But yeah.
Hey, Nick, I really want to appreciate you for taking the time to speak with us again, especially sharing your story and your time as a, from starting with your uncle all the way up to now being the group leader at Toyota. And you need to get that L1. I don't want to, next time I see you, you need to get that L1, brother. You've been too long in this industry not to have that thing.
Yeah, okay, bro.
I should get it this year. I know they have it online now where you can like be in
You
a
can
room.
prop it, remote prop.
Yeah. So and then I heard it's on the app now too. So yeah, my FTS was like, why don't you have it? And I was just like, I don't know. I have no excuses, bro. To be honest, I think I'm gonna get it this year. It is expensive though. $154, I think it is.
Come on, bro. They refund you. Just if you pass, dealer refund you, bro. Just be like, hey, I passed. Give me back my money.
If you pass.
Yeah, but you gonna pass, bro. You gonna pass.
I hope so. I'll try it. I'll try it out. I never had anything bad with testing, so I'll try it out.
You got it,
Yeah.
bro. Sure.
Yep.
Gentlemen, if you no longer, Nick, would you like people to find you on Instagram? Because you gonna start posting soon. Like,
Yeah, I'm posting little by little.
go ahead and plug in your socials.
Yeah, it's been like a challenge too, because like sometimes I don't know what to post. Maybe you guys can give me some advice. But like some days I feel like what I'm about to work on is a little bit too complicated to actually like start filming. But then
Like what?
I feel like people love the complication. Like for example, I had a Sienna that had rodent damage. That was the hardest job I have ever done in Toyota.
What
I was
you did the dash harness and the main
it
body
was
harness?
it was the body harness and the engine harness. Engine
Yeah.
harness, cake.
Cake.
Easy.
Bro, that main harness.
That body harness, it was so hard. And the proper way to do it, you have to, take the brake actuator out, remove the lines from the firewall, and then take the
Brake
AC
lines, yeah.
lines off and all that stuff. But I found a way that if you take a couple covers off from the harness on the left side, then you're able to snake it through and take it out. But so that's how I did it.
Toyota warranty just guy came on the phone. They said they're going to lower the times by at least 25%.
Hey, no, that was an insurance job. and yeah, that was a 30-hour job.
Yeah, if I were
Now
you,
about to be 20-hour job now.
if I were you, I would just set the tripod up, bro, and just put it to whatever angle you're doing most of the work at, and just keep that. If you have a lot of storage on your phone, just keep that footage, and then break it down on CapCut, and then that's usually how me and Kurt try and do it. Right now, I haven't been able to do that kind of stuff because I ain't got no storage on my phone, bro. So I'll be cooked. So I can't
I use let me show you right now. I use my GoPro. So that's what I use.
Oh, that's perfect. Anytime you doing, I don't know, face work, were you in there? You need to record.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. And then coworkers always loved like when I started recording and stuff. But then sometimes I'm like, man, do I want to be a teacher on my social media page, or like do I want to be a motivator, or do I want to just put out problem symptoms that I'm having, That's
You
where
find out what you like and you do what you like. Honestly, I can't really say. For me, I think I've done all of the above. So I don't know. The content forever is changing, bro, and evolving. So like it just go. If you like posting, bro, just post. Whatever you feel like doing, just do. If you want to teach something, teach. If you want to show some funny stuff, show some funny stuff. If you want to be like Kurt and put a filter on and be like, la 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 la, like do that, bro. Just get with it, bro. Just post.
Yeah, there's always going to be somebody that wants to say something negative. You just got to learn to get past it.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen your comments, bro. That's crazy.
Both of us be cooked.
Curtis's comments.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, the haters are crazy, bro.
The truth hurts, my guys.
Yeah. Well, all right. I'll take that advice and I'll roll with it. Yeah. I'll
100%.
definitely do that. I was in between music and technician life. Now I think automotive is just my format, so I'm gonna just stick with that on social media. Yeah.
Heck yeah, man. I mean, you can do both, bro. I mean, shoot, I play guitar too, and I've been thinking about posting a couple videos and stuff, but I just haven't. Honestly, since I moved into a new house, I haven't touched the guitar. I'm kind of lost a bit.
Oh, I've been playing guitar since
Oh yeah, since you was, I seen one of your videos. You've been playing for a while.
yeah, man. And playing for churches for a long time, and yeah, been doing that for a long time. Yeah. Not too many believers that you find in the automotive industry. So
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry for the cutoff time.
You good, bro.
You're good.
Nah, this is the type of stuff that happens when the podcast is good, bro. When the energy flowing and the mouth just.
Yeah, I'm not used to it, of course. This is like obviously my first solo run, so.
Nah, well, I mean, it was a pleasure having you on, bro. I mean, you can plug in your socials like you're at if you want to. Right now,
yeah.
You can just say it, and then we'll put it on Instagram or on YouTube.
Yeah, you can follow me at Nick Robles _. So at NICKROBLES _.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it there first. Nick Robles, a new guest on our podcast. Well, the second time around, but a pleasure having you on, Nick, man. Go get your L1, man. And all three of us will separate from this podcast and go on to make the automotive industry a better place. Gentlemen, if you no longer have anything for me, I no longer have anything for you. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of the WOTPod. See you next time.